are going to be working on our Keith Haring slabs today and making our tiles. So you should have your design someplace with you. You're going to be needing that. The first thing we need to do is roll out our slab to pencil thickness. And you can see this one's definitely crooked and not pencil thickness all the way. So I'm going to set these off to the side. I know most of my clay is going to roll this way since this is the thicker end. I always roll in the middle of the roller. I don't use the handles. It doesn't give me very much balance, and it doesn't help me to push that clay, which means you will need to be standing up to do this to get enough force behind it. If your clay starts sticking to your roller, unroll it carefully, turn your clay slab the other direction, and then you can roll it out the other way, just like this. And every once in a while you can stop, check for pencil thickness. If it's just about pencil thickness, on that last time, flip it over so you know it's not going to stick to your mat. And the next thing we're going to do is use the template to cut our square. Put that square somewhere in a corner near a sides because you might be using the rest of your clay for your project. And you're going to cut those lines. You're going to put your needle tool in at an angle and listen for that zip. That means you're all the way down to the mat. After you're all the way down to the mat, you can remove your template, pull away your extra pieces because we will be using those, and you should have a nice square. I'm going to set that over here off to the side. Actually, I'm going to do it here first because what we want to do are those background textures. So in my plan, I had grass down here, and then I don't have anything up here, but I might end up putting something anyway. So I can look through my box and find something that looks kind of grass-like. And when I figure out which is the bumpier side, and that's the side I'm going to place down. You notice this doesn't go all the way across yet, so I'm going to have to do this 2 times. And I want to firmly, but not too hard, you don't want to squish your clay a whole bunch, push this in. And you can kind of tell when it's pushed in. You can see the clay fills in the gaps, and then you can peel it off, and you're going to have that nice texture there. I'm going to move it over because it didn't reach all the way across, and do this side. And lift it, and a little bit right here where it overlapped. There we go. Now you can see those beautiful grass textures down there in the clay slab. I'm going to put that off to the side. Now I need to build my person, so we're going to do that next. I'm going to set this off to the edge so nothing happens to it, and then I'm going to take my extra clay and start working on my human. I want to get a good amount, and I want to be careful when I fold it back over I don't leave air bubbles in there. Okay, so I'm going to roll it, and that's pretty big for a human, so I'm going to cut about in half. You probably want it about the size of your hand once you finish rolling it out. So I'm going to roll it just a little more, and you want it pretty thick, about 2 thumbs thick. Mine's a single thumb thick, but you're going to want yours about 2 thumbs thick because we're going to turn this into our person. So you're going to cut all the way down and split it for the legs, and they're going to be up for the arms. Okay, so I got a body, legs, and arms. That makes it pretty easy to do. I'm going to bring my slab back over. Now I can't just stick this down here. It's not actually going to stick that way. I'm also going to turn at this time my feet a little bit. So I have a knee over here I need to bend with a foot, another foot that goes back this way. My arms kind of go up and around, right? So now that I have it on here, I'm going to place them where I want it so I can fit my frame and my head up there too. I'm going to very gently outline it on the slab so that I know where I'm going to score when I put him back down. Okay, I'll move this out of the way. And now I know this is where I need my checkerboard pattern for scoring because the clay will not stick to this all by itself. As it dries, it shrinks and they will pull away from each other and it will just fall off. I have to Velcro them together, so I'm roughing up the clay to have it be sort of bumpy like Velcro on this side. I'm going to take my little person, same thing on the back side of my person. Now I have to add a little bit of slip, which is some clay water mix, and I don't want this to be soaking wet, but I do want it to be shiny. I'm also going to put it on this side where I'm sticking it down. I'm going to line it back up and then wiggle, wiggle, push. Careful not to lose your shape though. Wiggle, wiggle, push. Wiggle, wiggle, push. And if you wiggle, push just enough, you'll notice it starts sticking to the slab. It doesn't feel like it's loose anymore. I'll smooth myself out a little bit on here. Like that. Clean up my edges with my finger. don't want to clean up my edges too much down here because I want my grass to stay down here. Now I have to make the little frame. So if I want to do that, I can just take a piece of my extra and cut my frame out of that. Don't have to do anything super fancy to put my frame up here, right? It's a little taller than my picture though. There we go. And now maybe I want to carve this out to make it look like the frame goes down inside. So to do that, I take my loop tool, I push in, I pull across, and I have to hold onto the clay, and then up. And you can take out a little bit. You don't want to go too deep and go all the way through. You just want to keep it so that you have that little frame. Clean up my edges. There we go. A little bit this way. I can smooth it out. It always helps to have a little water on your finger. You want to smooth stuff back out again. There we go. And I can't just stick this on there, of course. I have to score and slip, score and slip. Everything that sticks together won't stick unless you score and slip. Just like that, wiggle, push. I want it to keep that frame, so I'm gonna keep working in here. There we go. Like that. Okay. And I also need my head on here. So I'm going to cut a quick circle or oval shape out for my head. Just like that. And our heads don't have anything, no distinct features or anything like that. They're just like they are. Same thing. Score. Score. Rough it up. Slip. Slip. And wiggle, wiggle, push. Okay, so if I want, there we go. And my hands didn't quite reach, so I might have to get a few little pieces to put here for hands real quick. My fingers are still wet, so I can just push this on here. And this one is a little drier, so there we go. And wiggle, wiggle, push. So there we go. Once you're finished with your tile, you need to very carefully turn it over, write your name on the back, and your class code, your color day, and your grade. Super important because everybody is making these at the same time and they're going in the kiln at the same time, so I need to know which ones go where when they're done. Put it on the drying rack.